Okay, so I think what we better do before we get too far, get too involved here, is to set up our security on our site. And anymore is just absolutely necessary to secure your site. And it really can be kind of aggravating when somebody tries to attack your site. So let's just go ahead and do this, and I'm going to show you how to secure your site. And keep in mind that there's really no way to completely secure your site. I mean, people are coming up with all kinds of things. I mean, they ain't got nothing better to do other than to try to get your site. Now, if your site's not getting a whole lot of traffic, right, they won't you won't have too many problems, but you're going to have problems in the future. So let's go ahead and fix that right now. So what we're going to do is let's just go to plugins and then add new. We're going to add a couple of plugins just to discourage any kind of illegal activities coming forth on our site. So let's go ahead and install rename. It's called rename WP login. Okay, now there's some paid plugins you can get that does this, but this is free, so I just recommend getting the free plugin. There's a bunch of different ones you can get. But let's just go ahead and get rename WP login and then click activate. So the idea of this plugin is to hide your WP admin login. Okay, that way nobody can try a brute force attack on your admin login page. So what you want to do is have a notepad out. Okay, so get a notepad, and we're going to put some information on our notepad and save it. Okay, got a notepad, and what we're going to be doing is renaming this. Okay, so our login page, we want to name it something hard to find out what it is, hard to guess, different things. So you want to put whatever you want to put here, okay, as your login URL. And if you're somebody watching this video and you're one of the ones that likes to do the criminal thing, and you say, well, hey, I can see his login, I'm going to change this. So don't think that you get my login URL. Okay, all right, so let's just change this. So you want to give it special characters. Try to make it hard as possible for the hackers to find your site. You want to make sure and copy this information to a notepad. Okay, and when you get that copy to the notepad, you're going to click on save changes. So what will happen now is your new login page will be that URL, so you want to make sure and copy that down. So come down, it'll probably take you to your permalinks, so just come down and click on save changes. Okay, now let's go back to plugins and then add new, and we're going to install WordFence, and we'll click search plugins, and I'm going to install WordFence, and we will activate the plugin, and we're going to do one more, add new, actually maybe two more, but we'll do one more for sure. And we're just going to type in login captcha. What will happen is when you get people, if they do find your login URL, which they're going to be very hard to do, if they do find it and they see that you got a captcha on it, a lot of times they will just move on to the next site and just forget about yours, because they don't want to have to deal with typing in a captcha every time. So I'm just going to put captcha on login and install now, and this will deter about 95% of the hackers. And click activate, and let's go ahead and add one more, and we're going to type in WP security scan. Okay, WP security scan. Of course, this is just something, this is the way I do it. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to secure a site, so just take this. I'm not saying this is the best way, I'm not saying it's going to stop everything, but it seems to work pretty well for me. So it ends up being Acunetics, I think, security. Okay, so let's go down, and first we will go down to WP security, and then we're going to go to settings. Now you're going to see a lot of different settings, and we're just going to check all the boxes here. You really don't need to know what this means. We could go through it, but it would take us forever. So let's just check the boxes. These are standard basic security checks that need to be done, and instead of doing them all manually, it'll do it for you. Okay, so the only one I'm not going to show is the RSS widget on the dashboard, so I'm going to click on update settings. Okay, so just to show you a little bit more what I mean, if you go to the dashboard of WP Security, you're going to see a bunch of different things. Okay, if you got a green light, you're doing pretty good. Even if you got a yellow light, you're okay. Now I've got a couple of red lights, which mean for one, the WP prefix is WP, and then we also we have an install file which we definitely need to get rid of. Okay, and then we have an upgrade file. Okay, that we need to get rid of those two files definitely. I'm going to click this little plus sign, and it will tell you exactly how to do it. Okay, so we need to take out those files. Now, how you would do that is go into, you probably will not have these files, but if you do, you'll have to go into your file manager and take them out. And you can see we got green lights on pretty much everything else. Okay, so let's just go ahead and take care of this, and I'll show you how to do. So what we're going to be doing is logging into our cPanel. So if you do have this, follow along with me. So go ahead and open up your cPanel, and we will log in and take care of it. Okay, here we are in our file manager. So let's go ahead and take care of those files. So we're going to click on File Manager, and we want to go into the web root or document root, the web root, okay, which is public HTML. That's where we want to go. So we'll click on Go. And you'll see all the WordPress files to our site. Okay. And we're going to go into the WP admin folder, and we're looking for our install file, and there it is. Okay, so we're just going to highlight that and we're going to delete it. We don't need that, we don't want it. Okay, now we need to find the upgrade file. So we're going to scroll down to the use, and we have our upgrade. Okay, well, our upgrade PHP, there it is. What we're going to do here is put more restrictive permissions on it. Okay, so what we're going to do is highlight it and click on change permissions. So I'm just going to put it to 444. That we don't have any outside has any writable permissions to that folder or that file. So I'm going to click change permissions. Okay, so we're done with that for right now. Let's go back to our dashboard here. Let's go ahead and refresh and see what we got. So we may have to do a reset on that, but we got that taken care of. We know we deleted it, and it'll eventually show up that we've taken care of it. Now let's go on to WordFence and then go down to options. Okay, here we're going to where it says how does WordFence get IPs. We're going to put the little drop down, and we're going to select this first option, okay, where it says try this first. Okay, now we're going to go down. Let's go ahead and check that box. These are our alerts. Okay, the plugin will give you alerts when something happens that really shouldn't be happening. Okay, now we're going to check these two boxes. What that does is going to scan the themes and the plugins for malware, and we will go ahead and check these two boxes. We will leave the bottom box unchecked. Okay, we will check this first box to block all fake Google crawlers. And what we're going to be doing here is cutting down on wasted resources and activity on your site. Okay, so where these say unlimited, I put them at 240 usually. So I'll just put them all at 240. Okay, now over in this area where it says throttle it, I will leave it at throttle. Okay, on the 404s, I will go ahead and block it. Okay, the next 404, I will go ahead and block that also. Okay, and then we will block this last one also. Okay, now they ask you how long is the IP address block when it breaks a rule. I usually put this at 12 hours. Okay, and we want to enforce strong passwords and lock out after how many login failures? Anywhere between 3 and 5. Okay, since this is not a membership site, nobody needs to be even trying to log into your site in the first place. So if you want to put this at 3, keep in mind though this goes for you also, unless you whitelist your IP down below. in which you can do. And lockout after how many forgotten password attempts? I'm just going to put it at 5 also. And this we're going to lock out. I'm going to lock them out for 2 days at least. And then where it says immediately lock out invalid usernames, we're definitely going to do that because we shouldn't have anybody logging in. Okay, we'll leave those 2 checked. And we can click on Save Changes. This will lock up your site pretty good. And then click Reload Page. Okay, at this point your site is pretty well protected. Okay, your site is going to be your site right now is more protected than most WordPress sites out there. Okay, so first we changed our login URL, so a hacker is going to have a hard time finding even where to log in at our site. If they do find it, we put a login CAPTCHA to deter them from even trying to do a brute force attack, because they will have to put in the CAPTCHA every single time, and they don't want to do that. And so, and then we've locked down our logins. Okay, so we're going to if they try to log in too many times with wrong credentials, we're going to lock them out. Okay, so that'll take care of securing your site. Again, there's more things you can do, but that will take care of it. In the next video, we're going to look at going ahead and using Azon Auto Builder software and putting a fitness or health store on our site. So we'll see you in the next video. Please do this. Okay, this is very important. Your security of your site is very, very important. Okay, there's so many things that if your site gets hacked, Google will automatically just erase it. Okay, so do this.